Na 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 na, ooh, na 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 na, we.
In Western culture, if you really love somebody, you'll buy them a diamond. This is what the largest diamond retailer in the world, De Beers, believes.
Na 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 na, ooh, na 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 na, we.
Brothers Janisa and Mama Kaba were tilling rice fields in Sierra Leone for about 70 cents a day. The two boys lost their parents and grandparents in 1991 at the start of the Sierra Leone Civil War. These boys lost their parents in a war that was paid for by Americans and Europeans through the sales of blood diamonds. Over time, blood diamonds have taken the hearts of many African people, and the responsibility of this bloodshed lies with world governments, the diamond industry, and the consumers. Like many nations in Africa, Sierra Leone fell into civil war in the later half of the 20th century. African nations were underdeveloped, the people living very poor lives with little health care and less work.
When European nations came to Africa in the late 18th and through the 19th centuries, they carved Africa up without thinking about the different tribes. People who have hated one another were now forced to live in the same country.
For over 40 years, civil war engulfed the nation of Angola, starting in 1961 against Portugal. Then from 1975, three different independent movements, the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola, the National Union for the Independence of Angola, and National Liberation Front of Angola continued the war. The war raged until 2002. The United States, Cuba, and the Soviet Union were significantly involved in the Civil War as a byproduct of the Cold War. By the time the MPLA finally had victory, more than 500,000 people had been killed and over 1 million people had been displaced. Another African nation, Sierra Leone, fell into civil war in 1991. The Revolutionary United Front became involved in Sierra Leone in an attempt to overthrow the government.
In the first year of the war, the RUF took control of eastern and southern Sierra Leone, which were rich in diamonds. The government was overthrown, the military taken over by 1992. Then the Sierra Leone army pushed the RUF to Liberia. In 1995, a South African private army was hired to fight against the RUF and defeat them. The RUF was left by signing the Abidjan Peace Accord. The United Nations pushed the government to get rid of contact with the South African military before the peace accords could be signed, and the war continued. In 1999, world leaders pushed the Lome Peace Accord. This accord gave the RUF vice presidency and control of Sierra Leone's diamond mines in return to stop the fighting. So many of these wars were paid through the sale of blood diamonds.
Blood diamonds are diamonds that are used to pay for war. It is estimated that 4% of all diamonds sold today are blood diamonds. According to StatisticBrain.com, experts claim that the illegal sale of blood diamonds has produced billions of dollars to fund civil wars in various nations, including Sierra Leone, Angola, Liberia, Cote d'Ivoire, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. In an attempt to fight blood diamond sales, government organizations met in Kimberley, South Africa, to form an organization to stop diamond fuel violence. This process is called the Kimberley Process, formed in 2003 and sanctioned by the United Nations. While having some success, the Kimberley Process has not been able to stop or trace diamond sales that are used to pay for war, and while the Kimberley Process is meant to fight sales, it does not protect human rights. Despite 75 countries as members of the KP, there is no funding, no leader, and no central repository of knowledge, and effectively no one to run the process.
Our estimates are that 10 to 15%, possibly even higher, of the world diamond trade was blood diamonds.
Gems change hands as casually as a pack of cigarettes. And the only papers are the ones the stones come wrapped in. All these transactions are illegal. Diamond dealers are only supposed to buy from agents licensed by the government.
In 1990, blood diamond production reached 50% worldwide. The annual value of diamonds smuggled from the Ivory Coast is estimated to be $23 million. Over 15% of Sierra Leone's diamond production is blood diamonds. 40% of Congo's diamonds come from unknown origins. Over 3 million deaths are blamed on blood diamond production. Despite the millions gained, The average diamond worker makes 7 cents per day. Even De Beers, the biggest diamond retailer in the world, stopped buying diamonds on the open market, instead focusing on mines they owned and controlled in the year 2000. However, even today, they're not fully trusted. De Beers manages to stay out of trouble by using supplier of choice strategy. The strategy means that they use the last supplier they received the shipment from and say it was point of origin. Usually, this was Switzerland, which has their diamonds. We, in the United States, buy about 65% of the world's diamonds, and 60% of the world's diamonds originate in Africa.
In American diamond stores, only 27% of stores that sell diamonds were able to assure customers they had a policy against blood diamonds. 83% of these stores said that customers never or rarely ask about conflict diamonds. In the survey, 110 out of 246 diamond stores refused to answer any questions at all about where they get their diamonds. These statistics show that most customers either don't know or don't care about where their diamonds come from. It wasn't really known until the movie Blood Diamond came out that most Americans have even heard of the phrase. Hollywood producers tried to push the controversy with the mass marketing blitz in 2006, aided by a $15 million counterattack against the diamond industry. However, the diamond industry officials pushed back against the movie, saying it was something of the past.
But to find the stones, they have to endure what has to be one of the toughest jobs on earth. Mr. Diver, how are you?
How are you?
Good. How deep are you going?
Yes.
Deep.
The
The hose in his mouth runs to an old compressor, which looks like it pumps more carbon monoxide than oxygen. And they call it a lifeline.
The diamond industry disagrees that there is a problem. Shmuel Snitzer, former president of the World Federation of Diamond Boards, has said in 2005, the problem of conflict diamonds is practically over. They say that there is no way to know sure if the diamond is a conflict diamond. The vast majority of the Kimberley process is not effective in stopping blood diamonds. They also say Western cultures has such demand for diamonds that most customers do not care where their diamonds come from. They also believe that people should be able to do what they want with their money, let the markets decide where the diamonds come from.
However, there's a few problems with the diamond industry's defense. First, the diamond industry completely opposed the Kimberley process. Then, after it was implemented, much of the industry withdrew from the scheme. Global Witness, an environmental issues search program which worked with the Kimberley process, withdrew from the group, saying the Kimberley process refusal to evolve and address clear links between diamonds, violence, and tyranny has rendered it increasingly outdated.
If you want it, I will sell it.
If you take this to a dealer, how much will you get?
I will have 15,000 leons.
15,000 leons.
Yes.
What is that? And how many dollars? $7. $7.
Yes.
And how long have you taken to find this one stone? How much time have you been digging?
I will dig for 5 days, 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah,
And you found this only?
only.
What are you digging for?
I'm digging, let me have big diamond.
And then?
I make future for my people, with myself. I make a star.
Consumers, the courtiers, and their markets are wistful towards the fact that millions of people die and work for diamonds used today. Over time, blood diamonds have taken the rights of many African people through wars in Sierra Leone, Angola, and the Ivory Coast. The responsibilities of this bloodshed lies with world governments who have not built a process that is reliable, the diamond industry who covers up their sources, and the customers who spend millions on diamonds without concern over the origin of the product.
Janissa and Momokaba, who are fortunate to have their jobs, deserve more. Companies, the governments of the world, and even the consumers can do more to improve the circumstances of their lives and their country.
Na 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 na.